A few weeks ago, we had Secretary of State, Secretary Anthony Blinken here for a number of questions, and I had the opportunity to question the Secretary myself for a few minutes, and I asked for his commitment and support on solidifying American supply chains and driving out slavery and human rights violations, among many things. And I'm currently working on legislation relating to the DRC's critical mineral sector, specifically in creating a strategy to balance our national security responsibility to ensure continued access to key mineral commodities such as cobalt and lithium with the appalling working conditions present in the DRC mining sector and the extremely opaque business climate that exists throughout the country. I look forward to working with the Secretary and with each of you as we move forward this legislative effort. Assistant Secretary Fee, in addition to some of your concerns that we discussed recently, I've also been closely following President Tshisekedi's recent visit to Beijing and the negotiation between his government and the CCP-linked mining companies. A couple of questions for you. What is the department's belief regarding the purpose and the outcome of President Tshisekedi's visit to Beijing? And two, what is the department's view regarding the current trajectory of the DRC-China relationship?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a leader of a large and complicated country, we anticipate and assess that President Tshisekedi likes to have many options, as many leaders would, as he considers how to develop his country's resources. But we are confident that the United States is a better partner and that is his view, that we are a better partner and one he would prefer to engage with. So we are looking very seriously at opportunities for development in the critical mineral sector. You may have seen that the Development Finance Corporation recently announced a project to build a transport corridor from Zambia through DRC to Angola to help move resources from the DRC to export market.
Madam Assistant Secretary, do you have the resources? Do you have the heads to specifically focus on an effort like that, specific with critical minerals in the DRC? Do you have that resource?
I would say the short answer to that is no, but I would also like to share with you, if I might, how we got to this position and what we need to do to get out of this position.
Perfect.
So, as you may be aware, in recent years, there was a hiring freeze at the State Department, and we failed to hire to respond to attrition. The Secretary has included in his budget requests immense requests, relatively speaking, to increase our staffing, and that hiring and training process is underway. But there's a gap between where we need to go and where we are, so we're working on some creative solutions within the department to identify talent to help us take advantage of opportunities specifically in the DRC. I would ask this committee to lend your support to the budget requests that the administration has made for the State Department. Relatively speaking, in our grand national budget, it's a reasonable request, and it will provide us with the predictability and the stability to carry out our shared goals.
And the second question, with the last minute or so, what's the department's view regarding the current trajectory of the DRC-China relationship?
Again, my understanding, based on my witness of President Tshisekedi's engagement with President Biden and his repeated engagement with Secretary Blinken, is that the United States remains the preferred partner, and it is our responsibility to show up and ensure that we remain in that privileged position.
I now recognize Ranking Member Jacob for 5 minutes.